Update to the OpenAI whistleblower Suchir Balal's death in San Francisco after calling out Sam Altman and OpenAI for copyright violations. So, all right, so I talked about this video about a month ago. There was a case that was filed in January to extract records about Suchir Balal's death in November. Now, what happened was that he was a real, like, one of the brains behind a non-profit organization doing OpenAI, which became ChatGPT. Hired as a non-profit, take this information and not sell it, but to give it away to people. Turned into a giant money-making operation for Sam Altman, and he became a whistleblower. He's like, hey, I think that what we're doing is wrong. Looks like we weren't supposed to make this into a profit-making machine. It was supposed to be non-profit, and because we're making so much money, I think it's a copyright violation. So he reported it to the New York Times, did a big article and story, and then boom, all of a sudden he goes on vacation, comes back to his apartment, and at his apartment he shoots himself in the head. This is a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, 24-year-old prodigy, kid that is having multi-million-dollar job offers, in his prime. All of a sudden he's suicidal, apparently. Not a drug addict, so his mom investigates the situation, does her own autopsy, investigates things. They find that he had the date rape drug GHB in his body. I think like a tube over like an insanely amount of alcohol, and he wasn't a drinker, like over 1.8, which is way blacked out drunk, and also GHB. So he's so totally sitting in his apartment. There's a video of him going in his apartment where he's walking into his elevator with a bag of food from delivery, and then shortly thereafter, he gets blacked out drunk and on GHB, is what they're finding out. Like absolutely obliterated blacked out drunk. I mean, we're talking like almost 2.0 alcohol blood level and on GHB, passes out and then shoots himself in the head. This is the story. Unreal, right? The other cameras to the apartment building are gone. They're missing. They were turned off. So it's super suspect. So what happened is she did a writ of mandate. And it was frustrating because when I first looked at it, it had been going on for 2 months and there was no service on the SFPD. And it's the SFPD and the mayor's office that they want to get this information from because there's body cams, there's other footage. It's the incident report. The incident report that the police took at the date of the crime, it's Exhibit D, request for incident report, which is going to be all the information that they have. The medical examiner report, autopsy report, death investigation report, any records. And of course, the police wrote back and said, sorry, we can't do that. We can't give that to you. Disapproved. One word, disapproved. Love how they make that. No legal basis. It's not confidential or private or sealed. It's just disapproved. Get out of here. Have a nice day, people. Well, fortunately, she's got the funds to litigate this matter, so she did what's called a writ, petition for writ of mandate, and now, as of the 17th of March, the good news is that the mayor's office was served. Mia Ellsberg, deputy scheduler, authorized to accept service. I was on March 17th, 12:11 p.m. At the Carlton Goodwit building. She was served with the summons and complaint and the writ. All right, so now they got to respond on or before April 16th, right around April 16th. So we're going to see a response from the city in a couple days. They're either going to file a demur, or they're going to file an answer, or they're going to do a cross complaint or remove the case. I mean, they could do a couple of options, try to quash service, or they could just meet. But this case is going forward, and it's a Records Act case. All the investigation records are being covered up on this. And I'm so happy for this lady and this attorney to see it moving forward. I don't know if it was, I put some pressure on the guy, called him a few times and did a video. I mean, the attorney finally got the paperwork served and got off his ass. This guy, Joseph Gothenals, down there in Burlingame. I was ready to go down to his office and say, hey, dude, what the freak are you doing over here? Do you want me to serve the papers for you? Like, it's just going to City Hall. I mean, it ain't that hard. So he wasn't serving his papers. Finally, 2 months later, he said, oh, I'll serve my papers, and he did his job. Get off your ass, pal. What the freak are you doing? You know, I don't mind calling an attorney out any day of the week. So if you got a problem with me, you come talk to me, pal. Okay? And we'll deal with it man to man, because, you know, I don't take nothing from attorneys, dude. And I don't trust them. I don't like them. And, you know, it's very rarely that you see an attorney that is got good intentions. All right. So, no, there are a couple good exceptions, you know, mind me, but they're very small. And I don't trust this guy. His work ethic is crap. But the case is going forward. I just want him to know that he's being watched. You know, I'm watching this case like a hawk, you know, so I have no interest or skin in the game other than I want to get the facts. And if the mayor and if the city police, SFPD was behind this, then I need to know. I want to know. Suchir Balal's parents need to know. And other people in San Francisco need to know. The mayor who's behind? We need to find out. We want these people on the stand. You know, I want depositions. I want all the records, and we need to know all these facts about what's going on, because none of this makes any sense. It looks like a cover-up. Everyone I've talked to says it's a cover-up. Makes too much. I mean, you got Altman. Altman is a newbie to the city, okay? But he's a guy with $31 billion. He built a big house, or bought a big house. And then you got the mayor, blue blood. He's a blue blood. He's probably a builder. He's probably a Bohemian Club guy. You know, he's a Levi family heir, so likely a Bohemian Club member. Altman, I don't think he's in the Bohemian Club, which is the secret society there, but, you know, he's got connections. So therefore, these two guys are likely talking directly, that's Levi and Altman, and doing favors for each other. Oh, hey, sure, no problem. No problem. Not too many other people other than the mayor of San Francisco could make a call like that to the city of San Francisco to cover this up, because it'd have to come from the top. So if it wasn't Louis, who was it? Louis, you better freaking come to answer this and say, you know it wasn't you, but you're finding out who's covering this up. Okay, if it wasn't you, then one of the guys in the PD is covering this up most likely, because there's no way this kid killed himself. No way. And we need to see freaking restitution on this. And this needs to be cleaned up. You know, San Francisco needs to have a whole shakedown of their police department now over this. It's absolutely unacceptable behavior. All right, so let's, it's beyond unacceptable. That's not the right word. They either killed the kid or they knew he was being murdered and covered it up. Either way, they're complicit. Either somebody's guilty or somebody's going to be found guilty or complicit. You got either knowledge of a crime or you've got, willful, actual murder, being charged for murder. Either way, somebody's gonna have to pay, and it's a multifaceted group. It's not just one party. There's multiple people involved in this, man. This is conspiracy. So, I'm super happy to see this going forward. We got the proof of service just got filed on April 2nd, and we were gonna see an update here by by April 16th, we're going to see a response, and I'm going to be following it, and I will come back to you as soon as I do to see what type of excuses the city of San Francisco and the mayor's office want to give to the court for why they shouldn't have to produce public records. And that's what it's all about, just producing these records. What excuses do you have to not produce these records? I don't think they've got one. Stand by for more. This is Gavin Mehl. Let's get some justice for this Sutra Bal case, and, I want to see some freaking fixing up the city. We got the problems that they've been created. Now we got to fix up the corruption. All right. And if people are found, I'm not saying anyone's guilty. Okay. I'm not accusing anybody yet, but it sure looks super bad. Why aren't you guys producing this information? Just produce the information on the investigation. Got nothing to hide, right? Mayor wasn't behind it, right? Mayor Louis had nothing to do with this. The police didn't cover any of this up. Produce all the information then. Okay? Because if you don't produce the information, then that's called terminating sanctions. All right? And I hope this attorney knows that, meaning that they ask for discovery, they don't give him the discovery, he motions to compel the discovery, then he motions for terminating sanctions, meaning that he's going to win the case. They're then found to have covered everything up at that point. All right? That will be leading to the then conspiracy case, like a federal conspiracy case, I would imagine. All right, so super exciting stuff. Let's get this, keep an eye on this case and keep reporting justice for Suchir Bal, the AI whistleblower who was shot dead and apparently took GHB and a massive amount of booze, even though he was a drinker, and blacked out drunk, shot himself dead in his own apartment like this in the head. All of a sudden. Makes no sense. All right. This is Gavin. I'll see you at the top.